For years, no, decades, fans of anime and manga alike have been slurping and guzzling on Berserk's non-existent meat. And you know what? These people are right. Berserk is the fucking shit. But you may have been sleeping on Berserk because you heard you had to do some reading and thought,
reading? I'm an anime fan, not no damn loser. I ain't reading no damn books.
Here, hold this. You about to learn something today, sonny. Big ass man with a big ass sword slaying demons, hardcore bloody wars, mermaid baddies jumping a sea god, and on the very first page, the main character is Michael Phelps deep stroking a demon. I said it once and I'll say it again. Berserk is the fucking shit. Berserk is an action-packed dark fantasy where you follow the black swordsman named Guts, who probably has some demon ass CDs from those demon cheeks he clapped on the first page. Guts is a man that's fighting demons, figuratively and literally. You learn about him, his painful and traumatic past, see him move from it and find love and happiness, just to watch him have it all stripped away by the person closest to him. Guts sets out on a bloody and chaotic quest for revenge, but along the journey he's faced with the fact that there's more to life than just vengeance. Now before the keyboard gangsters start e-jumping my ass, I'm intentionally being vague here because in my opinion, Berserk is best experienced hitting you the way it was intended, blindsiding you and ramming you like a damn truck. The story of Berserk got the good stuff for the P-brains in the back and the D stuff for the dumb nerds asking questions like,
oh my god, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
Now whenever anyone suggested Berserk to me and used the word action, I used to think, these are fucking pictures. How the fuck do you read action? This shit isn't even in color. But young Guaz was tripping. You see this right here? These aren't just pictures. This man Kentaro Miura was drawing Hall of Fame works of art each and every chapter. What the hell are these panels doing in a book? They need to be hanging next to Mona Lisa. When reading older manga, I'm used to the art looking kinda janky until the artist finds their rhythm and hits their stride. But Berserk, this man Miura came out the womb drawing in 1080p HD, and that shit wasn't even a thing back then. How the hell does this come out of one man's head onto a piece of paper? I don't even know what the hell this is, but god damn does it look intricate. And this right here is creeping me the fuck out. And that's before I learned it had two dicks. So I think now is as good a time as any to give a disclaimer, so my friends and family don't think I'm a weirdo. So it's Guaz back on it, talking about some gore, violence, and SA, which Berserk has a lot of. If it ain't obvious, Berserk is pretty crazy. When you mix Miura's hyper-detailed art along with the controversial material of this manga, you gotta be in for a ride. Now I love my fair share of bloody action, but seeing grown men's bodies turn into red confetti every chapter was even too much for me. Sometimes I had to do a speed run through some of these panels just to get past all the grotesqueness. Did I mention this shit isn't even in color? So if a seasoned anime connoisseur like myself can be disturbed by some of this stuff, you can imagine the shitstorm that would ensue if a bunch of casual anime and manga fans ever caught wind of this stuff. And in March 2022, they did. Some person on Twitter posted a panel from the manga that had characters' dismembered body parts placed on pikes with the caption, "Where's the entertainment in this?" And normies and Berserk fans alike were losing it. People were labeling Berserk as misogynistic and said the creator deserved to die for what he drew, and on the other end, Berserk fans were writing essays and making long ass videos like the people talking this crap actually gave a fuck. I had to investigate the man behind this whole shitstorm to only find out it wasn't even a man, it was a little boy, a 14-year-old kid with a Cardi profile picture. You can use his same caption for Berserk and apply it to damn near every mainstream media. This man Cardi has a song where he says, "I'm so addicted to drugs, I'm so addicted to drugs," 15 times. Where is the entertainment in this? I bet this young dude watches Euphoria. This is a drug addict drooling over a Jolly Rancher. Where is the entertainment in this? And why the fuck do they got my babies in day out here looking like this, man? So while Berserk takes it to the extreme with its gore and sexual violence, it's not like these elements of the story don't serve a purpose. Berserk is based on medieval Europe, with dragons and trolls and shit, man. Berserk is loosely based on medieval Europe, the Dark Ages where disease was rampant, war was frequent, and white people didn't wash their ass. So do I think it's unnecessary for the 18+ dark fantasy manga to show some of this stuff? Kinda sorta. On one hand, some of these graphic scenes are used meaningfully to develop and add to the story and the characters, while on the other, it feels like Miura is beating you with a stick and asking, "What are you laughing for? Don't you know this world is shit?" Now I understand this is a manga that leans pretty damn heavy into its dark fantasy elements and that these scenes are meant to be shocking, but when the assaults start hitting 6, 7, 8 double digits, then the scenes are less shocking and more just like, damn, I gotta see this again? Why do I gotta see what the trolls' dicks look like? And then there's a part where a horse starts growing an extendo meat and talking about some, now I'll mount the lady. I read that part and let the book hit the damn floor, cause now you're not even being serious. Now you're just straight memeing on us, bruh. Mirror, you're so damn crazy, man. So while I think some of these scenes serve an actual purpose, I do agree that at times they can feel excessive and that this is a constructive argument and discussion to be had for the series. So it's baffling to me when hundreds of people bring this up with genuine curiosity and you see the same tired arguments like, it's based on medieval times. This stuff happened a lot back then, so it's okay to have it in the manga. It makes it more accurate. Okay, but you know what wasn't accurate for medieval times? 6'8" motherfuckers with gigantic swords and cannon arms fighting dragons and shit. But you know what Miura said? Hey bruh, add that shit anyway. So I think it's wild that people think just because something happened during the time period Berserk is based on, that Miura adding it to the story gives it more accuracy. As a writer, Miura doesn't need to add every historical detail or event to the story for us to believe it's based on medieval times. It's up to Miura to decide what he wants to add to the story for his readers' entertainment and immersion. And in that same vein, he's open to the opinions of millions of people around the world who have and are going to read his work. But enough of the politics. Let's get back to talking about why Berserk is the shit. Hey, is this your man's? Huh? What? He ain't got no dick. This man Kentaro Miura wasn't only an artist, but a damn philosopher. To put it bluntly, Berserk covers some of the realest shit I've seen in an anime or manga, and it honestly is shocking to me how relevant and applicable these themes are to our everyday lives. There's an abundance of themes from Berserk, like dealing with trauma, struggling and overcoming life's hardships, taking for granted your loved ones, and too many more to name. It's one of the reasons why when you ask people what Berserk means to them, you get hundreds and thousands of people all saying different things, and they could explain a view of Berserk that you never had, and you'd still see where they're coming from. But not only does Berserk cover a lot of stuff throughout its expansive 364 chapters, but it's also saying some pretty deep stuff. A 1-hour analysis on Berserk? I can see why someone would do that. A 5-hour video talking about how strong Goku is? You might be tripping, homie, but go get you that damn bag. My personal favorite moment in Berserk is Griffith's speech about having dreams. It's something that's impacted how I view chasing passion ever since I first watched it years ago. Another theme in Berserk that caught me way off guard is Miura's commentary on religion and free will. I was shocked by how entertaining the conviction arc was, and even though some of the moments during this arc are just plain nonsensical, they feel like something you'd actually see happening during events like the Salem witch trials. Keep in mind that this was made by some Japanese dude who draws manga all day. He never has some old lady in the Walmart parking lot talking about some Jesus loves you, baby. Now when it comes to the characters of Berserk, I fucking hate them. Only some of them if I'm being for real though. I say that to say this. Do you know how hard it is for a series to get you to hate a 2D fictional character? Not that hard. There are some pretty annoying characters in anime. But when it comes to Berserk, the characters are written with depth and realism. The two I want to focus on in this video are Griffith and Guts. Griffith has done some foul, wicked, despicable things. Whenever they reference him as the Hawk, I will cringe because this motherfucker is obviously a snake. A greasy, slimy snake bastard. But you want to know what makes Griffith one of the best written antagonists in all of anime and manga? Despite him doing these disgusting things, you can still understand this motherfucker. Hopefully you don't agree with what he's done, but you definitely understand him. When you first start getting to know Griffith, it's hard to not like him. He's a pretty boy with long flowing hair, smart, charming, ambitious, and not only can he throw hands, but he can break them too. He's pretty much what every girl wants when going on Tinder, but swipes left on once they see he's 5'10" instead of 6 feet. When I first started watching Berserk, Griffith was my dang guy, but then the story started to progress, and Griffith started doing stupid things. Stupid, heinous things. But how can someone so smart do things so stupid? Pretty early in Berserk, they make it known that Griffith has all of those great qualities that I mentioned earlier, but also has this underlying childish nature to him. He doesn't even call the people around him friends and considers them possessions. When he first approaches Guts to join him, he says words like, I want you, and after Guts join him, he says things like, you're mine. Have you ever seen what happens when you take something from a child in that phase where they go, this is mine, this is mine? They get wild, they get stupid. So what happens when Griffith loses his most prized possession? He gets wild, he gets stupid. This is what we call characterization. Griffith, who I said was smart, makes dumb decisions, but it's not entirely out of character. From Griffith's first appearance, the manga lets you know what kind of person he is and continues to do so throughout the story. Berserk gives us a whole arc of making us like this guy and wanted to see him achieve his hopes and ambitions just to see him drop the ball when they're in arm's reach. This is why Griffith feels so damn real. He has a chance to have it all, but because of his own flaws as a person that he fails to take accountability for, he loses it all. The story makes you understand and like Griffith to the point that his self-sabotage doesn't feel like a betrayal to only him and his comrades, but to us the audience who had such high hopes for him. This is what makes Griffith such a damn great antagonist. Now let's talk about the motherfucking GOAT.
Big ass sword, bitches guts, fucking a demon, he up in the guts. Hand is a cannon, he throwing no guns. Girl is a monster, she doing done. Throwing no hands like he gonna lunge. Giving no shit, cause he not the one. See him a demon, I promise they run. See him a demon, I promise it's none. See him a demon, I promise they done. You did. We smoking on Griffin like six. That bullshit to die with the key. Make you regret what you did. We coming for Koski, you bitch. Hey.
Guts is pretty damn gnarly. When you're first introduced to Guts, he's an edgelord and a dick. He's cool, but still a damn dick. But as you learn more about Guts, you see that he's not just an edgelord, but a man that's broken. Unlike your typical edgelord, you realize that Guts is a person dealing with trauma and emotional anguish, and his backstory actually makes you understand where he's coming from and why he treats people the way he does. But what's even more beautiful about Guts is how he slowly progresses from being a dickhead that's unpleasant to be around to a person who gains comrades and becomes a role model to those around him. I never thought seeing a grown man say the words please and thank you could make me lose my shit until I read Berserk. But here Guts is, smiling and enjoying the company of those around him, acting as a father figure to a little girl that's struggling with confidence and dealing with huge responsibilities. Keep in mind, this is the same guy that told a girl that saw her mama fucking a titty goat statue and her demon daddy get dragged to hell to kill herself when she was crying about how much her life sucked. He even threw her the knife and everything. To see Guts transform from this piece of shit to the person he is now is just magnificent to say the least. But aside from being a character written with depth and exceptional developments, Guts appeals on a personal level. Guts is a person who has gone through the worst of the worst. This man has gone through so much pain and suffering that when I picked up Berserk, I wanted to put it on pause because of how bleak this man's life was looking. But I kept reading because I had hope. Throughout his life, Guts would go through terrible things over and over again, just to find some sliver of happiness and have it all taken away and made to suffer again. But you know what? When life beat the hell out of Guts, he never gave in. He got back up, asked for a round 2, and still got beat the fuck up. But then after that, he still gets up, asks for more, and finds a way to win. Guts is a struggler. Part of growing up is realizing that your grouchy ass grandpa was actually spitting facts. Life is hard, but with those hardships we're faced with the choice of struggling and overcoming our obstacles or giving in and settling with the way life is. And after reading Berserk and seeing Guts struggle, I kind of realized complacency is whack. As people, we've all wondered why life is so hard, but after reading Berserk, I started to ponder less on that question and think about ways to make it better. This struggle is a part of life. You struggle to live, struggle to love, struggle to find happiness, but those are all things worth struggling for. So instead of settling for mediocrity and still hear those voices in the back of your head telling you to do better anyway, why not struggle for the things you want? But alright Berserk, I slobbered on your meat long enough. Now it's time to make people mad and the mad people angry. One thing I like about Berserk is whether you're a pea-brain that just likes looking at action or a giga-brain that wants some deep philosophy, you can still enjoy Berserk. Until the magic starts coming in. When Guts was doing crazy feats like killing 100 men and slaying demons to the point they see him and say, I don't want to smoke with that man. He's fueled by rage and demon STDs. Berserk was my damn shit, boy. But then the magical Oprah Winfrey comes in handing out power-ups. So many magical gifts got passed around, I thought Dobby was gonna come out the cut talking about some My Precious. Wait, that's the wrong movie. Now the Star Wars fans are gonna be mad at me too. Damn. In Berserk's earlier chapters, it's pretty simple to understand how the fights work. Big guy plus big sword plus him angry equal you dead. But then the magic starts getting thrown in your face. And is Shorty talking about power systems right now? Berserk has always had magic in it. In the very first chapter, you see an elf that twerks pixie dust that heals people. But later in the manga, it feels like it goes from 0 to 100 and the magical elements start hitting you all at once. From a contextual standpoint, this can make sense, but I think words and phrases get thrown around way too fast for an easy immersion into the story. But once these systems and foreign words are explained and displayed, I think it becomes easier to get behind magic taking a bigger part of the story. But then the story has a tone shift and the villains don't even feel like villains. You see Guts finding the same magical minions back to back to back. You lose any sort of tension from the action scenes after seeing Guts kill any of these things just once, but then you read through him killing like 20. What the hell is up with these RPG NPCs and custom characters, bruh? You think I'm gonna care about Guts fighting these ugly ass elephant fish when I just saw him beat the same damn thing 10 chapters ago? And this guy, he's not even a fucking villain. He's just Indian. So later in Berserk's run, Berserk starts not hitting like it used to earlier in the manga. There's this whole arc with these Pirates of the Caribbean guys who stayed in the story for way too long. These guys aren't even actual bad guys, they're side characters.
What is this? It's in the manga, but it tastes like filler.
So with all of these complaints, is Berserk still worth getting into? Over 30 years in the game, 50 million books sold, multiple awards, countless anime, manga, video games, music, and people inspired, and OG Miura dropping work from beyond the grave that still has fans losing their minds. So, is Berserk worth getting into? Don't even ask me no stupid ass question like that. You better go start reading or watching or something, alright? Nah.